So, GV, how do you want to do this? I think Omkar has shared some data with us.
I think we need to review first. Let's take a look at his data.
Okay.
Because it's interesting data, I thought, right?
Yeah.
So let us see what data he's got and the questions that he would like us to answer with that data.
Sure.
Let's have a look at those questions as well. See whether we have the same understanding. It's very important to make sure that we have the same understanding of the questions, right?
Correct.
Because you can multiple ways to interpret what the question is looking for.
So do you want to look at the data first, or do you want to look at the questions first?
We can maybe look at the question. Maybe look at the questions first.
Look at the questions first.
That way, you can see the data with some.
Correct.
You have a better way to look at what you're looking for in the data, isn't it? That way.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
True.
So.
So what I recall, GV, is that what Omkar had said is that there were three key stakeholders that he is answerable to.
Right.
One was the planning head. One was the CFO. And the third person was the CEO.
Right.
And the planning head, I think his job was really to get orders to customers as fast as possible, right? He was looking at how to minimize delay in terms of shipments. The CFO had a slightly different objective, because I think the CFO was more worried about making sure that you don't hold too much inventory, not too much finance is not tied up.
Correct.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And the CEO was overall interested in making sure that the business as a whole was growing.
Correct. Sales, yeah. So, but I mean, that is very high. I mean, that is, I understand that, but what are we specifically looking for?
So, I think the questions that Omkar has given us sort of follow from these three broad things, right?
Okay.
So, if you look at what the planning head is looking at, he wants to know about, actually most of the questions, there are quite a few questions from the planning head, okay? So, first thing he is looking at is what are the high volume SKUs?
Okay? SKU meaning what? SKU is
stock keeping units, right?
And that means what?
So that's an item. So it could be, as an example, an Apple iPhone would be, or iPhone 11 would be an SKU. iPhone 12 would be a different SKU. A Samsung M7 would be one SKU. A Realme phone would be another SKU. Things like that.
It's like what you keep on a store shelf, I presume.
Correct.
So different shelves you keep different things. Somewhere you keep milk, somewhere you keep biscuits, somewhere you keep. So each of them is an SKU.
Yes.
But you're saying now that milk itself, there may be 3 different brands of milk. Each brand is a different SKU.
So not only is each brand a different SKU, if you have a half-liter packet versus a 1-liter packet,
that's a different SKU.
That's a different SKU.
So a unique way of identifying a specific product item that is there on your shelf.
Correct.
Yeah. But of course, this is electronic shelf. It's not a real shelf.
It is an electronic shelf. Yes.
But nevertheless, the same concept. Same concept applies, presumably.
Yes.
So, what are we saying? We want to find out.
So, the first thing I think the planning head wants to find out is what are the high volume SKUs. Now, what does that mean? I think what that means is he wants to find out which items are selling in large numbers.
Large numbers.
Because he has to organize his entire logistics.
There's an assumption here. The assumption is that there are some items which are selling in large numbers. Because we don't know. We'll find out.
Correct. That is true.
Otherwise, you say which items, everything is running the same amount. There is nothing.
Correct.
Your answer is null, actually. Yeah?
Yes. But there is an assumption that some items are selling.
Typically, they do.
Yes.
Typically, they do. In any shop, some item will sell. Like if it's a pan shop, pan will sell.
Or if it's a vegetable shop, typically onions and potatoes. You know, I may buy
other things, but onion, potato will always.
Everybody will buy onions, potatoes, and tomatoes, right?
Yeah, that will move a lot. Okay, so there will be some items that will be moving.
Correct.
So we want to find out which items are moving a lot.
Correct. And the reason why you want to find that out is, I suspect, that your logistics chain has to be designed for these items.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because you have to make sure that you can move a lot of these. Yeah.
You keep. So okay, that is why you need to know.
I suspect, but we should find out.
These items you want management attention has to be there on these items in terms of logistics.
Correct.
Okay.
Then
all right, we'll find out. Yeah.
The next question that he wants us to ask is, one is high volume, but which SKUs are giving a lot of revenue? And what will be interesting to see is whether these are the same, right? So are the high volume SKUs?
May not be, because
may not be, na?
Yeah, because you can have a very highly expensive item.
Correct.
Which is sold. Even if you sell one,
you will get a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. You could get, no?
Correct. Versus if you are selling,
Like somebody
coriander,
on Flipkart, they buy
a TV,
television,
a high-end TV.
high-end TV.
Then you get a lakh.
Yeah, you get suddenly you get a big sale.
Correct.
Whereas you can buy a lot of vegetable or some other small
2 rupee coffee pouches.
You can buy lots of them, and
Correct.
still you will never reach 1 lakh.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Correct. So
So you want to find out high volume is one thing. The other is
high revenue.
Okay. Which again there is an assumption that some items are contributing high revenue.
Correct. Correct. There is an assumption.
Likely. Right?
Yes.
Okay. What else?
This third thing, and again this is, I think he is coming from a logistics perspective. He wants to know that there are some items that are high volume, some items that are high revenue. In my warehouse, in my fulfillment center, where should I physically place the high volume SKUs? Where should I place the high revenue SKUs? So that when I am assembling an order for a customer, how can that order be assembled quickly and securely?
Efficiently and securely. Okay, securely. Because it's a costly item.
Correct.
You want to.
It could break, it could get stolen, it could.
So you have to make sure that certain items are protected properly, and some items are kept in a place where it is easy to lift and pack.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So
the next question that the planning person is asking is
but
what
this third question. You are expecting that we'll answer it with the same data that we did, same thing that we did for. I mean, this requires some understanding of logistics, right? Or no?
We don't know. We should ask Omkar that. Actually.
Okay. So we are just saying that with the same analysis that we have done, we are doing. We should be, or just looking at the sales data, we should be able to do this. Okay, we'll see.
Let's see. Let's see.
Okay.
The next question that we need to answer is, as a planning head, what SKUs should I order from my suppliers today? Today.
As in, which ones are nearing being depleted?
Correct.
So I need to know how much I have.
Yes. What are the items that are my warehouse is going to get empty today or tomorrow?
Will get empty very quickly.
Correct.
Because the sales are very high for the item.
Or even if sales are not high, sales are slow. Maybe I sell only 2 units every day, but I am now down to 4 units.
So it will last me only 2 days of sales.
Correct.
Okay. So how many days of sales I have sitting in my
something like that.
And then based on that, I want to order.
I will place an order on the supplier.
I have lead time over there, so I have to order in advance also.
Possibly.
No?
Possibly.
The supplier wants, if I call him, he's not going to come and give it to me today.
Tomorrow.
He may take even 3-4 days. We don't know. It may take some time.
Correct.
So I have to know 3 days. If it's going to take 3 days to deliver, I should know 3 days before that I need this. Okay.
Yes. Actually, many times when you go and place an order, the shopkeeper will tell you, no, sir, if you place an order, I'll get it to you after 3 days. I think that's what's going on there. No? It's not there in his warehouse, so he has to get it from somewhere.
Somebody has to bring from factory or somewhere else, from some other godown, he has to bring it, no?
Correct.
Okay. So, I see. Okay. So, you need to know when to order. All right?
Yes.
And I hope we have data for all this. Okay, we'll see.
I don't know. I think we should take a look at the data.
All right.
The next question the planning head wants to know is there a trend? And I think why the trend is necessary is basically that will help him plan, right? So, is there a trend in terms of volumes, as an example? Is there some unit where...
when you say trend, it means that...
it's consistently going up or consistently going down.
Okay.
Or orders are high on Saturdays.
I see. Okay.
Something, some trend, some pattern.
Some pattern across days.
Across time.
So, it could be a repeating pattern, it could be increasing, decreasing, something.
Correct. Right. It could be across months, it could be across weeks, it could be across days.
Okay. So, that's called trend. Okay. So, which is useful for basically preparing. So, let's say we have a lot of sales on Saturday, Sunday.
Then you prepare.
For Saturday, Sunday, like that.
Correct.
If you find basically that Monday there is usually a lean day for the shop, you might do some other activities on that day. Or something.
So, the other thing I think people also do, I know this, is that, they would give their staff in the shop a day off.
But
so you would have fewer staff in your warehouse, right?
In the warehouse, okay. Yeah.
In
this case is online, yeah.
Yeah, you give people holidays.
Holiday on Monday.
On Monday, because it's not a heavy day.
Correct.
Things like that you can plan.
Okay.
You probably don't want to plan your staff having a holiday on Saturday if there are a lot of orders
on Saturday. Yeah, I understand.
So, linked to that, I think is the next question. Which days have the highest sale, right?
Which days?
Yeah. Which days of the week, I'm assuming, right? Here the question is, I'm assuming we should ask Omkar, but
yeah.
And then the next two questions are somewhat related. Which items should I stock more? Which items should I stock less?
When some items are moving a lot.
Correct. There's a lot of demand. Some items don't have so much demand, so I can stock less.
Correct.
The second question, which is also more interesting, is where should I stock these items?
That's a warehouse question. Yeah.
Correct. No.
Optimization.
So should I stock it in Madras? Should I stock it in Kochi? Should I stock it in Hyderabad?
It has to be local. I mean, yeah. So your demand in Chennai.
Correct.
Should be served from Chennai.
Because then you can serve it faster. I guess.
Generally, I mean, in this space, in e-commerce especially, if you can't find the order, you will probably not buy it from here.
You'll go
from here to Amazon or some other portal and buy it there.
Correct.
So, you must be able to fulfill the demand.
Yes.
Which means that you have to stock locally.
Yes.
As far as possible. Okay. Yeah. There are some items, I guess, rare items where people may be willing to wait a little bit.
A few.
No?
Right.
Mostly they'll want it more or less
instant gratification.
Instant gratification. They want it. They want it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next set of questions is coming from the CFO.
Okay.
And like we said, the CFO is most worried about how much capital is he locking up
in inventory.
And yes,
in inventory.
And therefore,
so because inventory is expensive.
Yes.
Of course, we are assuming that the company buys it, keeps it. It may not be.
It may not be, but still some of it, I guess, is, if nothing else, you are occupying space, right? So you are paying for the space.
You're true, very true.
You are paying for the space.
So how much inventory are you holding? Is it necessary to hold that much
inventory?
Correct. Okay.
But he's also, he doesn't want revenue losses, right? So he also wants to know, are there situations when the customer ordered something, but that item was not available in my warehouse? So I ordered a phone, or customer ordered a phone, but I didn't have this phone in my warehouse.
Which is called a stock out.
That is called a stock out.
So stock out basically means there is no stock.
There is no stock. Right. Okay. So customer wants something, but there is no stock in my warehouse.
So if you go to Amazon or something, you type, you'll say not available, currently unavailable.
Currently unavailable.
So that's a stock out.
Yes. Or if you go to
customers get very upset when this.
Or if you go to your local shoe shop, that guy will tell you, sir, I don't have. You come tomorrow, I will get it for you.
Yeah. Or I'll deliver it to your house also.
Yeah, or I'll deliver it to your house. Right.
Right.
That's a stock out really.
That's a stock out situation. Yeah.
Isn't it?
No, but there in that case in the shoe shop, he can't have so much shoes anyway.
Correct.
He can only have limited number of models, rest he will have catalog.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
But here,
what he knows is that item is available in somewhere else.
He knows that.
That information he has,
yeah.
And that information actually I think Omkar also has. If it is not available in Chennai, he knows it is available in Hyderabad.
So he can take the order.
Correct.
And deliver it from Hyderabad.
Correct.
It may come one day later.
Correct.
All right. Yeah.
The final question, and this seems to be a very data specific question, so we should find out why the CFO is asking this question. He is asking, why are we not getting stocks on SKU M01? So there is a mobile SKU M01, and what I recall from the data, and let's look at the data, but what I recall from the data is that there is demand, but supply seems to be a little bit of a problem. So I think that is what the CFO is asking.
That's very specific. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the CEO wants to look at growth, right? And his questions are very, very growth oriented. The first question he is asking is, if there is a customer from Chennai who places an order, what percentage of the orders that a customer from Chennai places are fulfilled from the Chennai warehouse?
It's called a forward DC, huh?
Huh.
Okay.
So, a forward DC is basically a distribution center
Which is near the customer.
which is near the customer. So,
Okay.
so what Omkar, if you recall, what he had told us in the last lecture is that Hyderabad is the hub
Okay.
or the mother distribution center,
Okay.
and Madras and Kochi are
Forward DC.
forward DCs.
Okay.
So, if a customer from Tirunelveli or a customer from Chennai places an order, it should in theory get fulfilled by the Madras DC.
And if it isn't, then it will go back to Hyderabad.
If there is no stock in Madras DC, it will go to Hyderabad.
Okay.
But ideally, a very high percentage of the orders being placed from Chennai should be fulfilled from the Chennai DC. Because then you are able to do 1 day turnaround, 2 day turnaround kind of thing.
For which you need to have a good idea of the kind of orders you are getting from this region, right?
Correct.
So, over a period of time, you can collect the data and do some analysis.
And do something.
Okay. All right.
The second question I think the CEO wants to ask is, Omkar mentioned that he had 3 BUs. They had a lifestyle BU, they had a consumables BU, I think FMCG BU, and they had a mobiles BU.
Okay.
And the CEO wants to know which BU is growing fast.
Okay. Which is the one that is growing.
Correct.
Okay.
And the third one is, how do you plan service levels for important SKUs?
Right. Yeah. It's as in how many days you should.
Correct. How do you make sure that for these important SKUs, 98% of the time you can get 1 day delivery?
Yeah, I think mobile phone, he said you have to get instantaneously. You don't give it, they don't buy it.
Correct. Correct.
There are some things like fashion or something.
People are willing to wait.
Maybe willing to wait. Yeah, yeah.